I had a great time. I felt, and anyone who didn't have a great time, they suck. I'm just kidding. You know, I had a great time at the party, but I was convinced I was gonna have a great time regardless of what anyone else did, regardless if people were into it or not into it. I was gonna be into it because I felt like we, especially as the leadership and management team, deserved this night to just be able to be like, because there's a lot that goes on, and definitely for me, you know, working in this industry and working in this business the past several years, being relentless with it, like one day to just be like, is that a crime? No, it's not a crime. Not even one day, it was like one night. And I wanted to make it a special event for our whole entire team and to really be able to pull everyone together. And as I've gotten, you know, the more aware you are, especially self-awareness is really important, and you got to get to understand things. And I've realized, I didn't think I was before, years ago, but I realized I'm a life of the party type of guy. Not every party, right? It's gotta be a certain type of party, but if it's the right type of party, I'm really a life of the party type of guy. And I felt like I was there, right? Even, you know, still even balancing between cooking and kind of hosting and doing that thing, which I feel like I could have done a little better. I didn't get around to as many people as much times, but I did okay. It is what it is. You know, when you're doing all the food and that, it can be a little difficult. So I had a great time. I felt, and anyone who didn't have a great time, they suck. I'm just kidding. Anyone who didn't have a great time chose not to have a great time. But I felt like the vibe was there, the energy was right? We were setting the tone for the energy anyway. We're having a good time. There's no excuse for everybody else not to have a good time. So let's just have a good time. Let's do it. The food was great, right? Because that's the number one thing that is most concerning at most parties and at events is like, if the food's no good, then that's gonna crescendo into everything else and it's not gonna be as great. But the food was excellent.
The food was delicious. I was sad I didn't eat more. I felt like I didn't eat enough. I ate a plate and then I got distracted by everything else because those greens were bomb. I already knew the mac and cheese was gonna be good.
Kwame made a real nice meal. I think with the help of Jamil, but I'm not sure who may or may not have helped him. And there was plenty of, you know, alcohol there, and there's some fun party games that had some prizes that could go home. So I had a lot of fun. My fiance had a lot of fun. I brought him as well. And yeah, it was great fun.
Really good stuff. We had great drinks. The whole Moscow Mule Station idea came to life beautifully. Kudos and thank you to Sharon for stepping up and making that happen and using her bartending experience to create some excellent, great drinks for people. We had a really great variety of other things, beers and seltzers and spritzers, all that type of stuff. It was like, hey, we're just gonna have a really great experience with one another. Let it be somewhat memorable.
My expectations were here, and then we ended up here. So, you know, it was a pretty good time.
How did I end up getting home is a great question. Well, how I should have gotten home was I was perfectly fine and coherent. I should have just been able to drive myself home and get to exactly where I needed to be. What ended up happening is that my keys were mistakenly abducted. And so I'm, you know, sitting here, but with the van being, you know, whatever, not being able to, because I had left, I want to say in the glove compartment that's locked with the key, my cards and everything. And so I wasn't able to like call an Uber or a Lyft or anything. I was like, I'm stuck. I had nothing. And so I think Jamil and Sharon got like tired of me like trying to figure out a fruitless situation. And they were like, you just get in the car and we'll take you home. But I was like, yeah, that's it. I ended up getting into the back of their very nice SUV, really nice. And I was back in the back of there and I was fine. And then at one point in time, I like fell asleep for just what I felt was like just a second. You know, 'cause it was like it was nice, dark and chill back there. And I was like, whatever, I'm not driving anyway. So I like nodded off. I missed the turn. I was like, wait, where's Curry Ford? like 3 miles back. I was like, oh, frick. Which I felt even worse because then a ride that should have been relatively short extended. I don't know, did I seem awake? I was
I turned around and looked, I was like, why are you so asleep?
I was freaking fine and I had to let 2 innocents suffer and go all the way out of the way. And then I was like, I don't know how. I think I like kind of gave some ambiguous directions for how to get out of there. And I was like, left, right. I said, stop at Black Santa. And I was like, thank you so much. I hope you can get out of here. Left, right, or whatever the opposite way that we got in here was. And so, yeah, that was it. That was the end of the night. So, and they made it home. So it all worked out. And that was the whole marketing of it. We're just gonna have a really good time. If we're gonna do this, let's just make it a night where we have a really good time, create a great experience with one another, let it be somewhat memorable, if not very, and just come together in fellowship. That's really important. And I had an awesome time.